Hi, welcome to my channel, welcome to my space. I'm really excited today. Today one of my students arrived in Malta. Actually this week I have welcomed two people to Malta. One came in on Monday and one came in today. I am so excited. I mean, my student community is growing larger. We thank the Lord. Just hope everyone finds their feet and fulfill their dreams. And that aim or the purpose of them moving to Malta in the first place would be fulfilled, or let's say the goal will be achieved. So just before I start the video, just in case you're looking to study in Malta, September, October intake is ongoing and would soon close. So if you want to study for a bachelor's degree or a master's degree, feel free to hit me up, send an email to woweffectmalta@gmail.com. I know that my responses have been slow these days and it's been very overwhelming, but don't worry, I'll change. Earlier this month we got checks, right? Most workers in Malta got checks. I think it's been sent in batches. I'm not sure if I would be putting this up online. I'm not sure if it's very confidential, but I don't think it's confidential. Like it's not a secret, right? It's online, so I might as well just show you and see. Can you see? Rewarding hard work. Let me bring it closer to the camera. I'm sure it might be, yeah. Rewarding hard work. And when I saw this check, I think I kind of heard about it. I've gotten this before anyway. This is not the first time, but I don't think this was the heading, but just this rewarding hard work just made me feel very happy, so to speak. A reward for a good work well done, or a good job well done. Nice. Well, they gave this to anyone, people working in Malta, and I think from what I can see here, I think over 200,000 people, 268,000 plus would get this check. So far you are working legally in Malta. This is in English. So see, this is the Maltese version. So that's the beauty about living in Malta. You get communication in English and in Maltese always. Alright, so this video, I just thought, okay, a lot of people have actually been asking me, what are the benefits of working in Malta, or why do you love, or what is it you like about working in Malta and all of that. So I just thought about it that, I've actually done a couple of videos about working in Malta, but I've actually not sat down to say, these are the benefits, that every employee would, or let's say should, enjoy as a result of working in Malta. So I'll just list them out, and I kind of put them into 10 points. So these are 10 benefits of working in Malta. This list is not exhaustive. A lot of people might sit and be like, oh no, there are way more, but then for me, and I've been here for almost 7 years now, and I've worked for 5 years in those 7 years. So I would say I worked for 2 companies in those 5 years. So I would say that I've had quite my own fair share of experiences. It's really not easy to move countries, and I'm not even saying people from Nigeria now. It could be from any part of the world, So let's just get right into the video. Number one benefit that I would like to talk about is, I think, is one of the most obvious, which is the fact that tax in Malta is considerably low compared to a lot of countries. People say, the wages are not as high as most of the countries, but how about the tax? How about the tax? Because sometimes you might get one offer abroad and you'll be like, oh my god, this is like the dream and all, but what exactly is your take home every month? And aside even take home, what is this cost of living in that particular country? I'll use ourselves as an example, right? My husband, in fact, so far, I think we've gotten offers to 3 different countries. Zurich, London, and Berlin. Now, when we got this offer, especially the one for Zurich, oh my god, funny enough, the tax in Zurich is way lower than Malta. It's way lower than Malta. I think they have one of the lowest tax rates in the world, and that is because their cost of living is insane. What? It is so expensive, right, to live in Zurich. I think that's like the second most expensive country in the world, city in the world. So you can imagine, like, the cost of living is really high. So their taxes are low. Your take home at the end of the month might actually be very high. You might be getting take home of about maybe 13,000 euros. And by the time you even pay rent of 6,000 euros already, how much do you have left? And then a lot of heavy bills, right? We got an offer in Germany. I was like, oh wow, nice, this is amazing. This is more than double, more than double current income. Why not? Let's go for it. And then yes, research started and we're like, hold on a minute, hold on. What? How on earth are we supposed to be paying so much? I mean, getting just this. So at the end of the day, when we checked it, right, we did our checks and balances, and we saw that the take home with the seemingly low gross in Malta, right, was almost at par with the take home. I mean, the high salary in quotes after tax in Germany, because I really can't even explain, because it doesn't make sense. I know that yes, usually the higher you earn, the more tax you pay. So same with London as well. When we calculated, we were like, oh my god, no way. So sometimes you might get like very juicy offers, but don't get carried away just yet. Check well, especially if you're like me that like to save. Like I'm all about saving and investing. I really do not want to be spending everything I earn on just living in the country. I've spent so much on just this one point. Basically, the tax rate in Malta is really low, and obviously the cost of living, if you compare it to most countries, it is low. That's just the truth. As much as even things in Malta are getting really expensive these days, if you look at it, it's still way lower than what most people earn. I mean, than the kind of bills that people pay abroad. The second benefit will be language. The fact that you do not have to start learning another language before you, find a job in a country is a plus. Yes, you might say, oh, I'm an expert. Some companies, some international firms will just, they do not mind it. Like these friends that wanted to employ my husband, for example, it was fine for him to just be able to speak English. But at the end of the day, I would go there. I want to work as well. My children will go there and would have to start. In fact, to be very honest, would have no choice than to maybe register them in an international school, because I can't imagine them learning a different language in school. I mean, learning in a different language in school will be really hard at their age one, and because I don't know, maybe because we are just from an English-speaking background and language, like where would we start from? Well, language is a plus. The third benefit will be the fact that there are no insanely long working hours. Ideally, by law, you should just work 40 hours a week. I know there are some professions like the healthcare industry and the likes where you tend to work more hours, but then I think it's a choice. I don't think it's like compulsory that you have to work more than 40 hours a week. I think whatever extra hours you work you would get seriously paid for it, right? So, but then generally speaking, you are allowed to. I mean, the law is that you work 40 hours a week. Any extra, I know a lot of people that they work pretty much around the clock. They work 2 jobs and they work very long hours, but then they get really paid good money as well for those extra hours. I think usually in Malta, if you work an extra hour, it's double your per hour rate. So for example, if your hourly rate is 20 euros, if you are going to work an overtime, especially weekends, you'll be getting like 40 euros or even more, right, for that 1 hour that you work in the weekend. So anybody that wants to work longer than 40 hours, they're just looking for more money. So ideally, it is just 40 hours. Some countries, the standard is 42 hours, 45 hours, and but I like the fact that in Malta, it is just 40 hours a week. Because back home in Nigeria, I remember those days, one would work like long hours, but it's not like you're getting paid for the extra hours, and really you have to work the extra hours, especially if you have a deliverable, right? So here, there's nothing that is free. That extra hour you work would be paid for. Number 4 point would be paid leave days. I mean, I love the fact that in Malta, the leave days are, I think by default, it is 24 leave days per year. However, for every holiday, because we have quite a lot of public holidays in Malta, right? So for every public holiday that falls on the weekend, it is usually added to one's annual leave. So if, for example, the public holidays that falls on a weekend during the course of the year is maybe 10 days, the 10 days will be added to your 24 days. So you have 34 days leave, 34 leave days in a year. This year, most people have like 30, 31 days leave holiday this year. So I love that. Trust me, it's a big deal, because I remember when there was one offer, or one when we were trying to check, because trust me, we've actually considered trying to move around, especially earlier when we came into Malta, when we relocated to Malta. I remember then, was it Singapore we were checking, and we saw that I think the leave days is like 15. If you are sick, you have access to sick days, I think over 20 sick days in a year actually, depending on the company anyway. Compared to where I was coming from, like, even though you're almost dying, like, it's almost as if it's a crime or taboo to take sick. I don't even think there was anything like sick leave, to be honest. I can't remember anything like sick leave in any contract that I've seen in Nigeria. But here, you can actually take sick leave. Like, I've seen people that would say, oh, maybe they are mentally stressed. I'm not saying it's not a good thing to take leave, but they're mentally stressed, or they have a headache, or just, I'm not going to downplay anyone's situation, right? But back home, I'm used to like serious, like really, really serious health issues. Then that's when you, or maybe if you have something that would maybe affect other people in the company, yeah. But just these kind of things, I've never heard of it before. I don't know if it has changed. So the fifth point will be the social benefits and in-work benefits. So there is a particular salary you would earn either as a single person or as a couple, especially if you have family, where the government will actually give you incentives. In the event that you lose your job after X amount of years, the government will actually be paying you. Why I said X amount of years is because sometimes I feel that these things, because I've seen people who maybe they've not stayed here up to 5 years, they lost their job and they still got paid, and they're still staying here without the fear of being kicked out of the country. So that's why I'm saying it's relative. I really don't know what exactly the figure is, but if one loses his or her job, you actually get paid for a particular period. So basically, lots of social and security benefits that one gets to take advantage of as a result of working in Malta. The sixth one is the work-life balance. I really, really love the work-life balance in Malta. Some people might not agree, but then I think this is where the kind of company you work with really does matter, to be honest. But majority of the firms, I mean all the firms I've worked with, so just 2 firms anyway, but majority of people that I know that work in different firms, is still the same feedback I get in terms of work-life balance. I know that, yes, working from home now makes a lot of difference, right? Aside even working from home. For example, it is not uncommon to go into a company and maybe they have treadmill. You could play tennis, you could play snooker, you could play board games, like this kind of thing. It just makes it a really relaxing, I don't know, but it doesn't feel, you don't feel too stressed or too burnt out, if you get what I mean. I mean, maybe let me use my own self as an example. Even where I used to work before, which was really dominated by Maltese and all, it is still in their culture to just see flex, to just really enjoy, even while you are at work or while you are in the office. Like, there's still a lot of enjoyment, there's no tension, there's really no tension or pressure to work and kill yourself, if you get what I mean. Maybe because where I'm coming from, the mentality is just totally different. I feel really, really less stressed in Malta. Most companies used to organize lovely team bonding activities for their staff. Some even go abroad for holidays, team bonding. Like, there's just a whole lot, a whole lot. In fact, I feel the enjoyment here is real. That's what I would say. As a result of working in Malta, you are protected. You have some sort of, let's call it an employee protection, and the body that takes care of this is called DIER. It's DIER, that's the acronym. They are like a body that kind of protects you. They also protect the employer anyway, but there are some crazy employees, trust me. So it's like this body that protects you and whatever rights there are certain rights that are supposed to be a default in wherever we work with. I mean, whatever company you work with, there are some lines that cannot be crossed regardless. And this is why it is really important that before you get that job, before you start that job, I know that yes, sometimes it might be very difficult and you are really, really desperate to, start any job, but it is always good to have a signed contract. And when you get that contract, actually read through everything, check all the clauses. If you need any clarification, find out what exactly it is. It is very important because it's this contract that protects you, But if you really have no contract and you go report to there, I don't even think they will handle your case, because it will just be a situation of, okay, so what is that thing that you have that is binding between you and the employee? Because the employer can just say, oh, no, actually this person doesn't work for me, So it's always good to just check your contracts before you sign and jump into that job, okay? But I like the fact that in Malta there's this body that are responsible in terms of ensuring that no one is taken advantage of. One other benefit I would really like to talk about is, I think this is the 8th benefit, is private health insurance. Most firms actually do offer private health insurance to their employees, even aside the private health insurance, because I have private health insurance, but I even hardly use it, to be honest, because the healthcare system in Malta, in fact, I should do a video about the health insurance system in Malta, because I recently, had the opportunity, is there an opportunity to go to the hospital? No, but then, because I'll do that video about healthcare, because sometimes you might just want to do checkups, random checks, and it could be even things like dental care and the likes. It's covered in the free health care. Yes, the queues might be so long and not wait to go. Basically, recently I went to the general hospital in Malta, and it was so good. Like, the experience was, I kept asking my husband, guy, are you sure we're not going to pay for this kind of service? Like, it was too good. From the government hospital, oh no, it was really good. So I'm just trying to say, even aside the private healthcare, there's a free healthcare anyway that we can take advantage of, and it's a big deal. Trust me. There are some countries like in the US. I know I've heard of stories where even though one is ill, like, they would rather just stay at home than go to the hospital, because it's a lot of money to actually receive healthcare in America. Even actually, one of the offers we got in Zurich, like, when we're going through, how he is living there. Health insurance is compulsory, so you need to pay for your own private health insurance. It is compulsory. I think even before you get like an ID card or something. When I was checking, I think it's about 400 euros per month per person in that country. I'm like, what? Like, so it's a big deal to have and enjoy very good, and this is not just basic healthcare, like very, very good healthcare. So that's a big plus. I think this should have been like second point, actually. So another thing I love about working in Malta is that, yes, I know that in Malta the salaries might not be a lot. Obviously, the minimum wage is about, I think, 780 euros per month. I like the fact that, yes, the minimum wage, like, it is not possible that what you were earning the previous year is the same thing you'll be earning the next year, because by default there's what they call COLA. I'll have to check for the full meaning. Something allowance, basically cost of living allowance. Yeah, cost of living allowance. So it's usually paid by the government every year. No matter how tiny it is, at least there will be that increase. Obviously, this is aside whatever increase you get from your company. And the truth of the matter is, aside that, all these other benefits that I've been talking about, like, for example, this reward that was given. And aside that, there's even what we call, tax rebates. There are different tax rebates. So if you send your child to private school in Malta, you get some sort of tax refund. I know that every year I've been getting like over at least minimum of maybe around 500 euros yearly in terms of cash back. So it's a big deal as well. We get free transportation for the children that go to government school have a lot of freebies. All this, it's one of the benefits of working here. So finally, what I would like to say again, there's a very high chance that wherever you'll be working, whatever company you'll be working with, you'll be working in a multicultural environment, in an international environment where there'll be lots of nationalities. You get to learn from different cultures, you get to learn and meet people, learn languages, a lot of, And it's a big deal when you work in that kind of environment. You know, you're meeting new people. It's a very usually fast-paced um, environment, to be honest, right? Like I said, I worked in real estate and then now in a different software company, and I love the fact that it is very evolving. So if you have that offer, or if you are considering working here, do not pay attention to whatever people might say in terms of how a lot of people suffer, because I will not lie, to be very honest, a lot of people actually go through they're going through it as a result of working here, and that's because people do not really do their homework well. So just in case you have a very good offer and you're thinking of relocating to Malta, trust me, especially as someone who has stayed here for almost 7 years, Malta is that place. So just go for it, okay? Thank you for watching my video.